Sir, can you hear me now?
I think I just found it.
All right, good.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We'll take up file 2022-58579. This is the matter of Mariah Shears and Adam Miller. And both are here via Zoom, and this is the date and time set for a hearing regarding paternity and support. Mr. Walburn, do you have an update there?
Here's waiting until the court. Defendant was served on October 17, 2022. This is a paternity case. We did do genetic testing. Mr. Miller was found by like 99.99999% to be the father of this child. So we have to address the paternity aspect first. I think there was a custody motion in front of the court. Plaintiff for child support calculation was imputed at minimum wage. We had some employment information on the father. Looks like he worked as a mechanic. Looked like he was underemployed based on the information we found. So he was also imputed at minimum wage. Defendant has 0 other children. Plaintiff has 3 other children. We put that in the child support formula. It comes out to $328 support, 22 ordinary medical for a total of $350.
All right. And sir, do you agree with the recommended amount of monthly support?
I thought we were going to do something as far as the custody first, and apparently I had a problem with the Zoom meeting that I was supposed to attend the other day, which I immediately spoke with Linda about. I thought we were rescheduling that part of it.
Yeah. So I guess it does make sense to deal with that first due to any.
I have no problem with that. I didn't know it was reset.
Well, let's start with paternity then. Sir, it looks like there's a DNA test done, and it was pretty conclusive that you were the father of the child based on DNA. Do you agree with the entry of an order of affiliation or a paternity order determining you to be the legal father of the child?
Yes, there's no question about that at this point.
All right. And ma'am, do you agree with the entry of an order of affiliation or paternity order regarding the child?
Yeah.
All right. So that order will be done. There was a hearing on the 9th. At that hearing, there was a recommended order for sole physical custody and sole legal custody with the mother. No order for parenting time at that time. I don't know. Who told you that it would be reset for today?
I was trying to attend the meeting there, and after it was stuck there on trying to connect for some time, I immediately contacted Linda, which was about 10 or 15 minutes later after the meeting was supposed to start. And to my understanding, I thought we were going to reschedule it. And she said she had sent an email or something into the judge at that point in time that I was having issues with trying to attend it. So I thought what we had agreed is that was going to be rescheduled due to the fact that it did not work. But yes, it should be documented that I talked to Linda, like I said, immediately after.
So I got an email from Linda. I told her what the overnights were. After that, she said that you were on the phone with her and that you were there waiting, and it just kept spinning. It says I told him he should get an order in the mail and to be on the lookout for it. And that was the last conversation I had about it. I never said it would be reheard. Once you get the order, you do have the right to file an objection within 21 days. So if you don't agree with what's in the order, you may want to file an objection. But it's not going to be reheard at this time unless you initiate some additional hearing.
Okay, yes, I did get the order. I was not under that understanding though, but
Yeah, when you get the order, there will be, well, that one had to be done on a different order. Yeah, you have the right to object to hearings that are held by me within 21 days. And the judge will review it, determine if it should be set for another hearing or not.
okay,
So if it hasn't been 21 days yet, you can file an objection if it's been more than 21 days, which no, it hasn't, so don't worry about that.
no, I haven't.
So I guess with that in mind, the recommendation for support is based on 0 overnights, which is the current state of the order. That could change if you file a motion or an objection, in which case support could be recalculated. At this point, though, the recommendation was for $350 a month. Did you want to address that further? Sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Are you speaking with me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't agree to that until we come up with parenting time.
All right, I guess I'll inquire of Ms. Shears. Ma'am, do you agree to any parenting time at this point?
As of right now, because he hasn't shown any interest in any type of wanting parenting time. He's sent me a message a couple days ago asking whether or not we could have a time yesterday to talk. I gave him the times I was available and he didn't even get a hold of me for it. So as of right now, I am unwilling to give him any time because he has shown no interest in this child at all.
Sir, do you want to address that at all? It sounds like she gave you the opportunity to talk about parenting time and you didn't get hold of her.
Gave me a very small window with tight obligations to do so that we spoke about yesterday, and it didn't work out for me in a very short 2-hour window.
Did you let her know that?
Immediately, no, I did not. But I was given the tight window. I was going to try to work with it. It did not work out.
But you didn't tell her that you weren't going to be able to be available during that time?
I was going to attempt to be available in that time, but yeah, again, it was a very short 2-hour window that I was given to do so.
How much parenting time are you requesting?
When we first spoke, I requested to do a 50-50. I thought it would be nice to split things. And she more or less come forward and said absolutely not. That she would agree to a couple hours with no overnights is basically what she told me before. And then amongst the messages and whatnot I don't know, I feel like she doesn't want me to have any contact with the child. So we have not been able to come to any agreement of any sort. I have not seen the child once. And like she said, I did not make any contact prior to that. I was not even certain that it was my child. And that's how we wound up in the situation that we were.
How old's the child now?
Excuse me.
How old's the child now?
It'd be almost a year. And actually, we just moved through with paternity, 2.5, 3 months ago, to be for certain.
Right. So why didn't you initiate any proceedings with the court to determine paternity and custody and parenting time and all that? It took the prosecutor to do it on behalf of Ms. Shears, due to public assistance for this to get before the court. You could have filed your own custody or paternity case at any time.
There should be documentation of that was done back months ago, and I thought that's how this all started to begin with. And when I first spoke with Linda, she said, no, this was nothing to do with the paperwork that I originally filed. We did paperwork online to try to get this figured out because Maria was not interested in trying to move forward to help me figure this out. And I had doubt in my mind. I had question in my mind. Unfortunately, we had only known each other for about a month's time when this took place. So yes, there was question in my mind.
Yeah, I don't see anything that was ever filed by you to address this. This is the only case that has ever involved this child for you, except for your parents' case, but it was the only two
And
cases
that's
that
what
show up
Linda
in the
was. That's
system.
what Linda once told me before. But we did try to work on this online. I don't know how nothing went through from there either. So basically, what you're telling me, yeah, is this is all on her side. It's nothing to do with what I had filed, is what you're telling me.
This was filed by the prosecutor. They initiate cases when children are receiving public assistance. So that support is paid because the support, at least in part, goes to the state to reimburse the budgetary items that provide Medicaid and food assistance and cash assistance and things like that. It doesn't all go to the other party. So no, Ms. Shears, this comes from a referral from DHHS.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
This came by a referral from DHHS, not from really either of you. What I'm saying is if you weren't getting the time you felt that you should get with a child that may have been yours, you could have addressed that at any time over since the child's birth by filing your own action for a determination of paternity and then custody and parenting time and all that naturally flows from a paternity case.
And that's what I'm saying. We did try to do all this online. I don't have documentations in front of me, but we did the same thing. And yeah, I don't know why you don't have information for that.
Did you actually file it with the court, or did you just fill out some forms online? Because that would never get to court unless you actually brought it here and filed it.
You never physically brought it there to file it. No.
All right. When did you work on the forms online?
I don't have the dates and I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but this was back midsummer of last year. Way before all this took place, to where I even got notification from the court from this prior time. It was something we were already trying to work on.
All right, I'll adjourn the support portion of this. You file your objection and we'll see where it goes from there. And if the judge entertains that or sends it back to me for a full hearing or what the case is, but I won't order support at this time until there's a chance for you to address the custody order that was entered because you weren't here that day. All right.
Sure.
All right, we're all set for today then. Mr. Miller's here, but he hasn't connected audio. I'll show him a little sign. All right, sir, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Take up file 2022-58579. Maria Shears and Adam Miller both are here. Matter was set for proceedings regarding paternity and support. Mr. Walburn's here from the prosecutor's office. Mr. Walburn, do you have an update?
Defendant was served back on 10/17/2022. I think we were here previously and we dealt with the paternity aspect of part of this. This left us with the custody. There was a custody motion I think the parties had in front of the court, and then we were waiting on the custody information. We were back, I think, on 1/18/2023, and I think there was some kind of Zoom snafu where Mr. Miller wasn't able to be here, so we reset it today so we could have input on the support portion. The information we have was based on the custody order, so there were 0 overnights used. Both parties were underemployed, so we imputed both parties at minimum wage. Based on those variables, it comes out to $328 support, $22 ordinary medical for a total of $350. Plaintiff had 3 other children in the calculation. Defendant had 0 additional children, 0 overnights, like I already mentioned, and that's how we came up with that number.
All right, and ma'am, the recommendation is for $350 a month for child support. Do you agree with that? Ms. Shears?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and Mr. Miller, sir, the recommendation is for $350 a month in child support. Do you agree with that?
Not necessarily.
All right, why is that?
Back to, I guess, where I was attempting to make the meeting at some time ago as far as the custody time, and my meeting did not go through. And that's what I thought we were going to try to get figured out from there.
You were supposed, did you file an objection to that in writing?
Not in writing, no.
All right, that objection has to be filed in writing to the custody order. And if you haven't filed that objection, then that order would remain in effect until some action is taken on that. That was entered on January 10th. It was sent out on the 11th. So you would have had 21 days from that date to file an objection. If you didn't do that, you'd have to file a motion to address custody or parenting time if you wanted that to be considered.
That's what the 21-day was for?
21 days was to object to that order, but that's long past.
I'm sorry, I'm confused with all this as to what was supposed to be done.
Yeah, I mean, that it's your right to have a hearing on an objection to it, but it's got to be filed timely within that 21 days.
I've never had to do this before, and then yeah, like I said, I attempted to do the Zoom meeting there. Something failed, and that's where we wound up from there.
All right, so I mean, the order is what it is at this point. You can certainly file a motion to address it if you wish, and that'll be set for hearing. It wouldn't be an objection. It would be essentially wanting to change custody, which, you know, I hear those too. So, but if you file that, we can certainly have a hearing on it. But at this point, we have an order in place, and the support order needs to be based on that. You understand?
Sure.
All right, so let's see. The hearing was in January. I'll make support effective January 1st of 23. $328 a month support, 22 ordinary medical, total of $350 per month. There's a $59 birth record fee, $81
Genetic testing.
and $150 filing fee. Defendant's responsible for those fees. Sir, I can give you 6 months to pay that. Is that enough time?
I don't know. Right at the moment, I'm currently haven't been working. I've been injured, so I've been struggling many difficulties here recently.
All right. Well, I'll give you a year to pay that. You're off work right now?
Yes, with an injury, I haven't been able to recently. No.
So the income upon which support was based was minimum wage. The prosecutor didn't have any additional income at that time. Were you working up until recently?
This has been ongoing for about the last 3 months.
Where were you working before that?
I'm self-employed, but I have an injury I've been trying to deal with, and just haven't been able to do much.
Self-employed doing what?
Self-employed auto mechanic.
Okay. What's the nature of your injury?
Shoulder. I actually have two shoulders. Two shoulders I'm having issues with. One of being the worst, and it limits me to doing much of anything at this point in time. Potentially supposed to be having surgery as well. And then that just creates another setback.
So do you own your own business, or do you just kind of work by word of mouth, or what?
It's just by word of mouth, yes.
So you're actively seeking medical care for the injuries that are limiting your ability to work?
Yes.
Do you have any documentation of that that would indicate that you're not able to perform your regular duties because of the injury?
Not right at this point. Like I said, I just been kind of nursing it, and I was told that I needed surgery on the rotator cuff before, and I've been putting that off because I have not been, I have not wanted to do it. Just trying to seek and hopefully heal some of it on its own. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
All right, well,
It's a surgery that I have not been looking forward to.
yeah. So the order will remain in place as I previously stated. If you file a motion regarding custody, though, you can throw something in there about child support, and I would hear what you had to say. If you do that, it should be able to still be set this month before your first payment would be due. So if it's your intent to address this, then I would get on that with a motion to address custody parenting time and your ability to pay at this point. But you'll need some documentation from a doctor to support that before support may be impacted. All right.
And where do I start to address that?
If you want to file a motion, you can print the forms out online if you want at courts.mi.gov, or you can come in here in the courthouse and they have copies available for, I think, $1 a fee.
Sure.
All right. Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
All right. We should be all set. You get orders in the mail.